been living under a rock this weekend, and I don't blame you. The reason why this is the way it is today is because, boy, in this area and many parts around us, we were hit with a winter wallop. It took out huge parts of Ontario, Quebec, and even the Maritimes. Now, here in Toronto, we saw a historic amount of snow. So a record 56 centimeters fell. So that's pushing, what, a foot and a half, 2 feet of snow. That's downtown Toronto. 46 centimeters were recorded over at Pearson International Airport. And you can imagine hundreds, potentially even more than that. Hundreds of flights canceled. And today, it's still pretty brutal out there if you are heading to the airport. And a lot of us were saying, hey, you know what, stay home, let the plows do their thing. We're here to entertain all of you, Canada. So, for that, how did you all weather the storm?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm still in recovery. You know, it was kind of cute, but also kind of smothering, a little bit like a bad relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I felt like I got home yesterday, I was up north, and normally if you just go even an hour north of here, it's way worse. And I came back and I'm like, oh my God, it's getting terrible here. I brought my son Jaya out, and even though he was having so much fun, there was a point at which I was like, is this dangerous? If he just jumps into a snowbank, he's going to disappear.
Yeah, you'll never see him again.
Never see him again.
Yeah, him again.
No, it was a lot. We're not ready. I am definitely not. I realized, I thought of you, I am not prepared for an emergency.
Well, listen, I was posting on Instagram all my emergency preparedness kits.
You were not.
Listen, you guys know I live for this stuff, so you are not prepared.
Not prepared.
I told you and Canada Friday on the show, Snowstorm Sunday. So we had been preparing since Friday. We got all the groceries, we got all set, we got the snow blowers out, but anybody knows if you have a pet, this is like there's us dealing with it. And then Ryan said, well, where's Cleo gonna go? We can't walk in 3 feet of snow, which is what it is in our neighborhood. So he snow plowed a path in the backyard for Cleo. Oh! So this was for her. While he was snow plowing, guys, a rabbit jumped out of the snow because it was 3 feet. The rabbits, they can't climb. They're in it. So he was like this, do-do-do-do-do-do. Boing, do-do-do-do-do-do, boing. But if you take a look at my neighborhood, it was that. I don't know what could have survived yesterday. We had cars that had, tons of snow on them. I don't know if I sent in any other pictures. It was extraordinary, but I felt prepared. I had extra water in case we lost power. We had extra candles. We had the whole nine. So quite frankly, I enjoyed it quite a lot.
Okay, you enjoyed it.
I did.
What about you? Because I know you live outside of the city.
I live in Hamilton. I live in Hamilton, and we only got 25 centimeters. Only 25 centimeters.
Such a Canadian thing to say.
But yesterday was also my anniversary with
Oh,
Simon.
how many years?
23 years.
Wow.
And so it's like I had this decision to make. And so I was like, okay, Simon, you can shovel. You can do all. I will give this to you. I will be inside making a cheesecake and playing string with our son, who is also a cat. So that is essentially what I did.
Yeah, which just sounds
cozy.
great.
Yeah, you say cozy?
Well, here's the deal. I'm the person that no one wants to hear from today because I live in the downtown core. They were plowing and clearing the sidewalks while the storm was still happening. I also live in a building, so I don't even own a shovel. I haven't seen a shovel in years.
Nice.
I know, delicate, soft.
Beautiful.
Baby,
No calluses.
So, as everybody's complaining and talking about how many times they've shoveled and this and that, you'll notice I am very quiet today. I'm like, that sounds terrible. I was nestled in my nice little condo just watching going, oh my gosh, so much snow. And then listening for the plows that were just clearing them every few hours. I'm like, wow, this but I grew up in the suburbs, so I know what it's like, and that's specifically why I chose where I live, because I'm like, oh no, I know what it's like to wait for a bus, and then when the bus finally shows up in the snow, it is packed to the rafters. Remember that?
Yeah.
I know what that feels like, so I chose my living quarters, but it doesn't make it easier to kind of brag about it. So I'm gonna stop talking now because someone's getting angry.
I just want to say you shouted at the crews. I want to shout out to all the crews. I know in our neighborhood, those crews have been going around the clock. So to everybody who's been out there and hasn't slept in a couple days, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes. Everybody who's shoveling, thank you. All right, so let's move on. Okay, parents, should you be involved in your kids' fundraising efforts? This mom on TikTok says she has a bone to pick with those of you selling Girl Guide cookies on social media. Take a look.
I just feel like it's such a cop-out for the girls to be able to have their parent, adult, whoever, post on their Facebook page, hey, so-and-so selling Girl Scout cookies, here's the link. It's like nobody wants to work anymore.
Interesting. All right. So do you agree parents shouldn't be involved? So we have two parents at the table.
Yes.
So what do you think about this?
Okay, listen, let's just say things. Back in the day, it was expected that it wasn't just about raising money, although that was the point.
Yeah.
The point was to practice your independence and talking to strangers, your sales skills. It was a life skill you were developing. So much has changed in culture. I don't know. I want this to come back. I will say that. Because it is a cop-out for parents to be the ones doing the fundraising. The whole point of it was get out of the house and start to learn how to be a young adult.
And build character, right?
It builds character.
And would you feel comfortable like sending Marqueza out to your neighbors, like saying,
This is
go
why
out?
I was saying it's like that's the skill I want her to develop, but two major things have changed. Number one, we're almost a cashless society. So back in the day, just throw a couple dollars at the kids. Some kids have tap. But I will say, some of that is a privacy issue for me. I don't know what kind of security they have on their tap machine.
Yeah.
And the second part is we have stranger danger. We believe that everybody is a pedophile
Even
ready
though
to snatch our kids.
statistically-
Statistically, we were in way more danger in the 80s. We were in way more danger in the 80s. Today, we're not. The threats are online for our children. It is safer to let your kids stand outside of the local grocery store with a box than it is for you to be leaving your child unattended online at home. That's the statistics.
Yeah.
So do I want this to come back? I do. Am I ready? Eventually.
Right.
Eventually.
What about does your son sell anything?
No, I don't really know. Maybe it's because he's not really in sports. This hasn't really come up for us. But in my neighborhood, I was once approached by some teenage boys, and they were like, were selling chocolate-covered almonds. And at first I was like, oh, this is interesting. This hasn't happened in a while. And I said, I don't have any cash on me. But they were quite clever. They were like, you can e-transfer us.
Oh,
Here's the thing.
wow.
And they wanted me to do it in real time, which I did have my phone on me. So I think if you're of a certain age, I think that's I loved it. I applauded that they were doing that. Yeah.
All right, I think this mom's just griping because she just sounds like a mom whose kid didn't sell as many Girl Guide cookies as everybody else's mom. And she's like a little bit low-key angry that the other parents are helping. To me, it's like this is the first rule in business. You have to know your audience, you have to know your target audience, and then you have to go to them. So to me, I would never know what a Girl Guide cookie tastes like without working somewhere and without the parents of those kids bringing me the cookies and being like, it's only, I don't even know how much it is. I just give them as much cash as I possibly have. So to me, this gripe sounds weird. It's like, yes, your kids only go to school and then they might go to community center. They might belong to a sport. So it's a very small group.
Parents have always been involved. When you're just triggering a memory. Like when I started working in this building years ago, parents would come with all the boxes of things and they would sell them. And
how else, if not for those people, would you even know what a Girl Guide cookie tastes like?
Right.
No. So to me, you go where the audience is, and also to expect that, okay, if your kid's only using the people they run into, well, how many kids are they selling those cookies to? And do those kids have access to money, tap, credit cards? Probably not. So parents, continue to bring the cookies to the workplace. We appreciate Facebook.
We just talked about shoveling, and isn't this just parents shoveling out the path for their children? We complain about this all the time.
Yes, it's true. The helicopter parents,
Yeah.
right? It's true. We really literally are doing our kids a disservice by doing everything for them that they could learn to do for themselves. That is,
you're right.
I really hope
You're right, but I'll say this much. If I saw your daughter standing outside of a grocery store selling boxes of cookies, my first instinct would not be to buy. It'd be like, where are your parents?
I'll be sitting in the car very close.
Right? And that's
okay.
So that's
just don't do it for them.
That's where
Just don't do it for them. Exactly.
There's a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless she needs change.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
done.
And her tracker's in her pocket. But anyway.
By now, most of us have seen videos of the moments leading up to the shooting death of Alex Pretti by U.S. immigration agents in Minneapolis. So footage is all over the news and on social media, and it's being analyzed frame by both experts and amateurs. Federal government officials say Pretti was killed because he posed a threat to officers, but state officials and witnesses say otherwise. So the question is the widespread dissemination and analysis of these videos helping, or is it harmful?
I mean, probably a bit of both, but I will say first off, I do think it is helpful. It's harrowing, it's upsetting, but I think this is the thing, when you have a collective en masse who are recording and then looking at this footage frame by frame, as you mentioned, you cannot deny what you're seeing. You cannot deny that this 37-year-old nurse was actually holding his cell phone, and he was within his legal rights to be carrying a weapon that was concealed at the time. And at the time when the ICE enforcement officers actually shot him, he was actually being held down. He'd just been sprayed in the face, pepper sprayed in the face.
And protecting another person.
And they had his gun. So he was of no credible threat. And you need to see all this. And that's finally moving the dial on a number of Republicans who are pressing for a deeper investigation. Finally, the NRA has joined other U.S. lobby groups calling for a full investigation. And I will say
The
all
NRA?
of that. Yes.
They never pipe up
I know.
for stuff like
We're
this.
all waiting.
Wow.
Like, what?
What are they going to say?
What are they going to say? So I think you needed all this in order for people to question it who normally will just accept the status quo. But the footage will only go so far.
That's true. Even someone like Joe Rogan, a lot of critics are saying a little too late, but he spoke out as well. And he holds, whether we like it or not, a lot of sway, especially with people who are not watching
helped Trump
traditional
get elected.
media.
He helped Trump get
I
elected.
think that's why his critics are saying, well, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. No, I think this is both helpful and harmful. I think it's helpful because when the Trump administration is out of office, they're going to use this footage to arrest and prosecute the people who have been murdering innocent
Let's hope.
American
Let's
citizens.
hope. Yeah. Let's hope.
You will not get away with this. But I think it's harmful as a former news anchor who had to sit down for hours and just watch footage of someone being killed. It's not good for anybody's psyche to do that. But I think it's also harmful because I think we're witnessing the erosion of the fabric of American society and the trust they have with their government and their law enforcement or any kind of enforcement, because ICE is not law enforcement. And we're watching it in real time, and you're seeing a divide that happens even further and further. And like even historically, black and brown people have always been kind of murdered by the police, which is an uncomfortable conversation. But now we're watching innocent white women and innocent white men. So that distrust is growing even larger because it's like nobody is safe. Even with all of the video footage, the Trump administration will still stand there and be like, you did not see what you saw. So that divide is growing, and I think that can only cause more anxiety, and that anxiety breeds more, like, people are going to be a little bit more jumpy to react to things. So I think it's going to be harmful, but in the long run, it's going to be very helpful to have all of that footage.
I actually ultimately think it's going to only be helpful because I feel like, I don't know about you guys, I feel as a Canadian very helpless as I watch the horrors that keep unfolding in the United States. And we can't vote down there. There's nothing we can actually do except, buy Canadian. I mean,
and
honestly,
not visit and not travel down
I don't know
there.
what else we can
and
do.
not travel.
And not travel, which is what, so we're voting. So I think this way, when I say this is actually helpful, I think these videos are serving a bigger purpose in history. Sadly, the way that all this ICE stuff is unfolding, while it feels very new to us, ask your grandparents or even your parents' generation. What we are seeing unfold in the United States is not new in the history of human civilization. You know what the difference is today? We have video of it. So when I think about the past and how video and footage has literally changed the course of history, there are many examples of it. So for example, the Vietnam War. The Vietnam War, they whipped everybody up in America to justify sending American troops to the middle of Asia. Why? Well, there was an administration that was pushing a certain narrative. It was only when the footage started to come back from the front lines in Vietnam that Americans turned and said, that's not what you told us. And they started to call that war the living room war. It was the first time footage was beaming in the atrocities of war into people's living rooms. The moving image, it may not help them there right now, I think, until Trump leaves. But the rest of the world, especially Europe, who has lived the horrors of this kind of brutality before, it's for the rest of us, exactly as Mark Carney said in Davos, the rest of us democracies get together, stick together.
That's excellent. And I want to be as hopeful as you. I watched the video, the New York Times did an incredible reconstruction. They also did it with Renee Good, and you watch the reconstruction of 4 videos and you're like, there is only one truth. That these people were murdered. But that's the thing. I don't know if with videos, I'd like to be hopeful that it just, here is proof, look at the proof. But then why are still some people disagreeing? And it reminds you of other videos like the moon landing, like infamous police videos, like surveillance videos, that one person's truth can be the other person's lie. So it does make me concerned that even with video evidence.
But is it truth, or is the video showing how much brainwashing they're trying to do?
Possibly, but I think if people can still deny certain things when they watch the same video and you still get people on the same sides, I wonder if it's less about settling truth and more about accelerating what we already believe. Do you know what I mean? And there are a lot of people who already believe. And I don't know if a video will sway them.
I'd almost like to talk to a Trump supporter who's watching these videos and get their take on it. I really would. Somebody who voted, and not to have an argument, but just to be like, so
you can find those videos online.
Yeah, you see the video, you hear what the administration is saying. How are you taking that in? I really would love to hear what they have to say.
You know, I hope we don't have to talk about another killing at the hands of ICE, but sadly, I don't know that we're not going to be there. So. Well, critics are calling it, quote, the most stressful TV experience on record. What are we talking about here? Well, free solo climber, that's Alex Honnold you're looking at, he made his way up 508 meters of Taipei 101 without nada, no rope, no nada, right in front of our very eyes. Well, if you tuned into Netflix's live stream, that's how you were watching this go down live. And although it was an extraordinary achievement, the question is, should it have been broadcast given what could have gone wrong, which is literally the worst case scenario. So irresponsible to live stream.
I could barely watch that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but is it irresponsible? I don't know if we can put the genie back in that bottle, because if there is a demand for people to watch it, then why shouldn't Netflix put it on? I guess, like, if you think about boxing matches, if you think about magicians, do you know how many magicians have died, like either on stage or trapped in a tank while they were performing a trick? Human beings are deplorable. Like, we've done this forever, like wanting to watch other human beings at risk. The Romans didn't even invent it. They just built better seats for it in the Colosseum. Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, you're right. It is something very
gross.
human about it. I guess the thing that really bugs me is the amount of copycat people that you know will be idiots, who will bring out their cell phones. There's been this huge rise with social media of people dying while they're taking selfies in stupid spots. There was some research that suggested that over 300 people had died between 2011 and 2017, and that's now that's a dated study. And they were trying to take extreme selfies. So, like, I just think about the copycats, and maybe those have always existed, but you do raise an interesting point, because to call back to the previous story, like right now, we're regularly seeing people actually die.
Yeah.
And I mean, while it's not supposedly entertainment, it's the world we're living in now.
Grabbing our attention.
Oh, so gross.
I didn't watch it. I think, like I said, real life news is way scarier. I don't need to watch this stuff. But I think that's part of it. When we talk about live communal events, it used to be that maybe Thursday night, whatever show would bring the world together. This was that on a global scale. So this is nothing new. Everybody watched Evel Knievel or the Wallendas. Like, we've been doing this since the beginning of time. The fact that the whole world on Netflix could have been watching this at the very same time is new. But the act itself is not new. The whole idea is you're watching because he could die.
Yes.
It's actually why we're watching.
They even had a 10-second delay just in case.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And medical teams
probably
just
a legal
in case.
thing, just in case, because children would be able to watch. Oh gosh, when I see these types of things, my first thought, if I'm being honest, is like, this is some top tier white people stuff. Because I'm like, y'all are always climbing something without a rope, without a safety net, and I'm like, isn't life stressful enough? What are you doing? It's also not my kind of television, but there's actually a psychology to this. People who like this type of thrill seeking, their brain doesn't interpret fear the same way that we interpret fear, and that's why they like these types of extreme activities. Frankly, when it comes to things that I want to watch that raise my heart, I want to watch heated rivalry, baby. That's the only way I want my blood pressure raised. But to each their own. If you want to watch a man without a harness climb a building, good for you.
Good for you. And he's all right. He's $500,000 richer, and he's all right.
Wow, look at that, look at that. Okay, to something a little less risky. Bustle is reporting that we're in the midst of a belly button piercing revival. Are you here for this, Mel?
I know, this is a Melissa story, come on.
Thanks for that. Listen, when you say revival, that is correct. It was us, older Gen Xers. We did this.
Do you have one?
I had one. Yeah, I had one.
We did this.
Yeah.
Did you guys let him grow in?
So obviously, this was 23 years ago. There's my belly ring, and you're welcome, Gen Z. Who's doing this now? Gen Z is doing this.
I guess it's Gen Z.
I love how they find something and they think they invented it, okay? You're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we invented it either. I mean, I don't know who actually. Does anybody do the research?
No,
I feel
obviously
like
we invented it. Just
I don't
lean
know if we
into
did.
it.
At 17, I got my nose pierced first, and then I got promptly told by my school that I had to take it out or not come back. So then I did what any normal teenager would do, which is that I waited until I was 18 to re-pierce my nose, and in the meantime, I got my navel pierced because then no one could see it.
Nice.
So that was what I did, and then I remember the one point when I was like, I don't know, 9 months pregnant, and I looked down and I was like, how much weirder is this gonna get? Like, I think it's time.
Did you see the little thing?
Yes, it was just kind
dangling?
of like hanging out, and I thought it's gonna get caught on something, so I got rid of it. Never to
Only
look
when you were
back.
pregnant.
Yes.
Wow. Had it that long?
Oh, yeah, I had it
I
long.
knew you. Well, you had a belly piercing.
No, I didn't meet you until after I had a baby, I think.
Oh, right.
Okay. Now, would you re-pierce it or is it?
No,
Can you
I'm not interested anymore. I want to do tattoos now, guys. I think I've moved on. I think I'm going to do a tattoo.
I'd rather get a six-pack tattooed on my stomach before I get my navel pierced.
There you go. Listen, you know what? I love that this is popular again for women in their 40s and 50s. I say go for it. It's not for me, but for specific reasons. A, I don't like needles, and if you have never seen how you get that belly button ring in there, it is. The needle is long and it's sharp and it's not for me. Also,
You should live stream it.
No. Whatever. Also, the way that my belly is set up, it's got two modes. In the morning, it's nice and flat and pretty. And in the evening, I don't know, she's more freestyle. She could be bloated. She doesn't digest things. So for that reason alone, I can't, because if you're gonna get it, it's to show people. And my evening belly is like, we can't show anybody that. So, but to everybody who's doing it, go for it.
Yes.
Go for
Yes.
it. Better than climbing a building without a harness. That's all I'm saying.
Mine is still open, so we might have some party time this weekend. Let's see.
Okay.
All right.
Let's take a break, everybody. No, nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs to see that.